All right, guys, got a 2006 Mercury Milan. Vehicle came in for intermittent, no start, no dash lights. He wanted a charging system and battery light checked. Oh, you can see where it just messed up right now. So I started out the diagnosis. My first thought was either this ignition lock housing can get worn out or the electrical part of this ignition switch. So as I was checking it and as I was pulling this out, the cluster lights would intermittently come on and go off. So my first thought was that it's inside this electrical assembly for the ignition switch. Continued on with my checks, checked the power coming in on the brown and red from fuse 14 comes down into the ignition switch. If you notice, the white and orange comes down, it feeds fuse 27, 28, goes to the smart junction block, fuse 25, 24. Follow that down. If you come over here, you can see instrument cluster. The yellow and violet, that goes up to fuse 27. So the yellow and violet, checking the wire, the power coming out of this was not losing any signal. So obviously it was showing that this is good. It was just a coincidence. As I would mess with this, the cluster lights would come on and off. So continued on with the investigation. Now you can see this ignition switch is turned to the run position. It's turned to the run position. Oh, you can see right there where I'm messing with it. And the dash lights just came on. But it is not in that. And that's where it kind of threw me for a loop. So if I wiggle, put my hand behind here, and I just wiggle this connector, and I just barely push it in. Let's see if I can get it. Come on. There. There's the dash lights, dinging stops. It's registering. At this moment, the vehicle will start. But if I take it back off, no communication with the cluster, vehicle will not start. It gets a signal. The pats and everything is through the instrument cluster. So if the cluster's in op, it will not start the vehicle. But if I just wiggle this connector back here, I can get it to come on, go off. I pin dragged all the terminals going into the cluster. They're all good, nice and tight. It's the actual circuit board inside the cluster that I don't know if there's some soldering joints. I haven't pulled it apart. Customer opted to just replace the cluster. So this thing is going to be getting a new cluster. It's going to be getting programmed. We're going to need two keys in order to program this for the PATS functions. Pretty simple, but just some to be aware of, that there is some to keep an eye on, I guess. So like I said, it's just barely wiggling this back here. So if you guys run across this, maybe this will help. So all right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.